What's going on, guys? Welcome back to YouTube. I know it's been a while, but I promise this time I am going to be consistent because I am 15 weeks out from my comeback show. This will be my first show after 6 years of being retired, and I'm super excited to document and share this journey with you. I'm going to give you guys a bit of a rundown on how the prep has been so far a little bit later on, but first I am going to hit a back session here at One Gym Flemington. I am meeting up with my good friend and client Will for the back session. I'm going to start off with some accessory work first, which I'm going to take you through. Alright guys, so we're going to start off with some tibialis raises. This is a pretty uncommon exercise, I guess, but it works the muscle in front of your shin, which is the opposite of your calf. So it actually helps pull your toes up towards your shins. This is a good muscle to train for multiple reasons. One, it's going to improve your ankle mobility. So if you're someone that maybe finds it hard to get into deep ranges of motion on like a squat, this will help you get into that range. Secondarily as well, it does help with how well like you decelerate. So, you know, as you kind of come down into a squat or even like running and stuff like that, it's going to like slow down your deceleration. So if you do find it hard to like control into the bottom of the range, then the tibs will help. And if you normally struggle to get that control in the bottom of a range of a squat, sometimes it can cause knee problems, which I unfortunately do suffer. So this is part of my current knee rehab program. I am working at a higher rep range, 15 to 30 reps here. If you don't particularly have this machine, I know a lot of gyms don't, I'm gonna show you a kettlebell version that you can do instead. So I'm going to superset this with just some good old-fashioned planks. I normally do ab wheel rollouts, which are harder, but unfortunately this gym doesn't have a ab wheel and I forgot mine at home. But yeah, planks are really effective on obviously working the core. I generally see a lot of people, they do planks wrong. They kind of just hold the position, don't really engage their core. So when you are doing a plank, really think about having your glutes switched on, having your hips like neutral, so drawing your hips up towards the rib cage and then drawing your rib cage down towards the hips whilst simultaneously engaging your quads. So you should be a really nice strong posture. Imagine if someone's gonna like punch you in the stomach, like what kind of posture you'd be in. I do feel like core is just something that a lot of people neglect, and to be honest, I was one of those people. And I've obviously learned over the years how important it is to train your core. As the name suggests, it is the core of your body. So everything that's connected to the torso is going to be affected by your core strength. So if you want a tighter midsection, train your core. If you want to protect your lower back, train your core. If you want better glutes, train your core. If you want better lats, train your core. If you want better chest, train your core. So make sure the core is nice and strong. So I'm gonna do 3 sets of each here. All right guys, so warm up is done. My training partner for say Will is 10 minutes late, still not here, which is very typical of Will, unfortunately. Don't be like Will, guys, don't be like Will. Anyways, we're gonna start with the lat pull down. I've got 2 sets of 8 to 12 here. I'm gonna do a couple warm-up sets and then get into my working, but I wanna show you guys sort of the 2 kind of different ways you can do a lat pull down if you wanna bias your lats or if you wanna bias a little bit more of your mid-back. So on the lat pull down, if you wanna bias more of your lats, you really wanna try to keep your rib cage down and then think about pulling your elbows down. Right? It's not about how far the bar goes. You don't necessarily need to bring the bar down to your chest, but keep the rib cage down and then the elbows down. So you're almost trying to bring your elbows towards your hips, and that will really work the lat. If you want more mid-back, then you'll kind of lean back a little bit, and then it becomes like a little bit more of a row. You can arch the chest up a little bit more compared to the lat variation. So yeah, a couple different ways you can do this movement to really bias what pattern you want to do. Of course, there is a bit of a happy medium where you can just get a little bit of lat, a little bit of mid-back, and you're not going to completely be able to isolate either or, but that's just how you would try to bias a little bit more of one or the other. Guys, it's just over 20 minutes late, and here he is, 25 minutes late.
5 minutes late. Very sorry.
Typical Will.
How you going, bro?
What's up, bro? Say hello to the YouTubes.
Hello, YouTube.
Yeah, the man Will.
Just trying to get as big as Paulie here.
You're technically bigger than me. You are technically bigger than me.
Muscle back.
You are heavier than me, so technically you are bigger than me. I'm just about to hit my first working set, so yeah, let's get into it. Come on. Cool. Nice, come on, stay in it. Fucking spot, bro.
I'll get it. Oh. Oh, bro.
Fuck. Hey? Alright guys, we have supported T-bar row. We're going to do 2 sets of 6 to 8 reps. Oh, that was 8, bro. Was it?
You passed through that.
Wasn't it?
I was just like, fuck. You gotta go for 10.
Let's go, bro. Come on. Up. Good. Come on. Nice.
RDMS.
old dumbbell row. We got 2 sets here, 8 to 12 reps. Go nice and heavy. This honestly challenges like my core probably more than my lats. Kind of feel like as I get leaner, waist getting smaller and the core strength is getting a little bit weaker. So just really make sure that I work that core strength, and now I'm using a belt to just help support me a little bit. Let's go. Come on. Come on, let's work, bro. Big back, come on. Yes, sir, let's go. All right guys, next exercise, we're going to be doing a high to low row. This really works your lower lat as you're pulling from obviously high to down. Really make sure that you keep your abs engaged, drive that shoulder down and pull the elbow to the hip. We're going to be doing 2 sets here, 10 to 15 reps. Could help a little. 5, 6. Come on. Nice and strong, come on. You try it at 75, bro. Alrighty guys, just wrapped up that back workout. Just getting some steps in now, and I just wanted to give you guys a bit of a rundown on how prep has been so far. So like I mentioned, 15 weeks out at this point in time. I have been in prep for 8 weeks now, so started prep about 23 weeks out, which is a long prep, but we're doing a bit of a different strategy for this prep. So we're going to be doing maybe 1 or 2 diet breaks. So essentially we've been dieting for 8 weeks now. My calories from the off season were around 4,200. I dropped initially down to 3,200, stayed there for about 5 weeks. Things were moving pretty well. Started to see a bit of a stall and then dropped down to 2,800 for the last 3 weeks. Now we're at a pretty good point that, you know, condition is good. We're going to actually we'll push food up to maintenance, which we're estimating to be back at that 3,200 calories. We'll run this anywhere between 2 to 4 weeks so that we can relieve some fatigue, and once we have, get straight back into dieting. So depending on how that goes, we'll obviously dig back down, push for more condition, and if we're still ahead of schedule, we'll end up doing like another diet break a little bit later on. But of course, if we're not ahead of schedule, then we'll just continue dieting all the way up into the show. So a bit of a different method, which at first I was a bit apprehensive about, just like, you know, 23, be 24 weeks from the last show, which like I said, is a bit of a longer prep, and I'm usually someone who doesn't really take that long to get into condition, so I didn't really feel like I needed that long. But doing it this way has made things super cruisy. I don't really even feel like I'm dieting. Yes, I'm on lower food, but 2,800, to be honest, is very manageable. My steps and cardio have not changed since my off season, so 8,000 steps per day, and I do 3 15-minute cardio sessions per week, which is, like I said, super cruisy. I, you know, just like anybody else, I don't really enjoy doing cardio. I don't enjoy doing like steps, particularly for me being a full-time online coach. I pretty much work a desk job, so, you know, trying to get steps in can be a little bit tedious, but obviously 8,000 is super manageable. So hopefully it stays that way. I'm sure at some point it will go up, but yeah, so far this has been a very cruisy prep, and I do think like that's one of the reasons why. But also, you know, being my first prep after 6 years of not competing, I am obviously a lot more mentally and emotionally mature. I've still been in the industry, I've still been around comp prep, so my ability to see people do preps and of course coach them through it, and of course looking back at my previous shows, I've come into this prep with a lot better mentality where, you know, I'm just really just trying to enjoy every single day for what it is, not really trying to like isolate myself or really go tunnel vision. And you know, that's a mistake that I've done previously in the past, is just go too tunnel vision with prep, where, you know, my relationships, my business and everything else kind of take a back seat. But I've made it a point to myself that that is one of my goals, to be able to do this prep and still be able to live my life and still grow and progress in all areas of my life whilst doing this prep, and not allow things to take a back seat. I'm sure at some point it's going to, you know, the final weeks of prep, I'm obviously going to be very low body fat, very low food, very fatigued. But as long as I can, I'm going to try to just live my life. And so far it's been fantastic. My relationship has been really good. My business has been really good. I've actually just got the most clients I've ever had on the books right now, and business is just like booming. So I'm super happy and grateful for where I'm at right now. So yeah, I am definitely going to try, well I will make these prep vlogs a lot more frequently, so please like, share and subscribe.